What's up, ladies and gents, and everyone in between? This is another episode of Shoebooty Sports coming at you Tuesday night, episode 136. So, going strong still. This is your host, Graham Powell, co host Bradley Brown on the other screen. Say what's up, Brad.
What's happening?
We got lots of stuff happening. But y'all know the drill. We're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsor first. Shoebooty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us Shoebooty Sports on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on X at Shoebooty Sports. Get my mic cord going here. All right. So we're going to start off with the news that everyone is talking about just all around the sports world.
What's
This is
that?
huge stuff. It's the biggest thing going on today, and that is that 16-time Nathan's hot dog eating champion Joey Jaws Chestnut from the good old US of A is apparently banned from this year's Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And the reason being, he is apparently chosen to represent a rival hot dog brand, which is
Not
basically
even
like,
real hot dog.
it's the Impossible Burger of hot dogs. Which, have you had an Impossible Burger?
Why? No, I have not.
I have. The Grumpy Rabbit in Lone Oak has an Impossible Burger. It just looked good on the menu as far as the ingredients, and it was delicious. It's a delicious burger. When I'm not having the special there, every time I'm in Lone Oak at the Grumpy Rabbit, I usually get the Impossible Burger. But I haven't had anything at that restaurant I didn't like. They could probably um, have a flip flop on the menu with some kind of remoulade over it. And it's going to be delicious. So I, that's my experience with an Impossible Burger at a really nice restaurant. So and it's delicious. So I don't know about hot dogs or other Impossible Burgers like the Burger King version, etc. But either way, you're going with a rival hot dog brand as your sponsor or whatever it is. And so therefore, I mean, they still have time to work it out. They got a little less than a month away. Hopefully they can get that figured out.
They'll work
But
it out.
yeah, maybe this is just a Joey moment, or to get hype around it. I don't know. Probably not. But there's time to work it out. But as of now, Joey Chestnut is not going to be in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, going for his 17th yellow strap. He would have more hot dog eating championships than Ric Flair does world championships. Maybe he just thought 16 was a good one to go on. I don't know. I pulled up his Twitter before the show, and let's go through this. It's a long thread. It's 3 of them. First one, I was gutted to learn from the media that after 19 years, I'm banned from the Nathan's July 4th hot dog eating contest. I love competing in that event. I love celebrating America with my fans all over this great country on the 4th, and I have been training to defend my title. Tweet number 2. To set the record straight, I do not have a contract with MLE, Major League Eating, or Nathan's, and they are looking to change the rules from past years as it relates to other partners I can work with. This is apparently the basics on which I'm being banned, and it doesn't impact the July 4th event. Sadly, this is the decision Nathan's and Major League Eating are making, and it will deprive the great fans of the holiday's usual joy and entertainment. To my fans, I love you and appreciate you. Rest assured that you'll see me eat again soon. Stay hungry. All caps. So whose side we going with on this? Whose side we taking? Are we taking the guy that brought the strap back to the red, white, and blue, or are we going to go with the I don't know, Nathan's, the MLE, whoever it is, all the above? I guess on this, who's right and
Uh,
who's wrong?
I think the contest is right and Joey's wrong. I mean, it's in the contest name, Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. If he goes with another brand, it's not the I don't know, it's not the same volume. It's not, it's pound for pound, literally not the same food. I mean, it's who knows? So I mean, Nathan's is in the name. You've got to eat their hot dogs.
Yeah, it's the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, not the Impossible dog eating contest or whatever the heck it is.
It's not whatever you want kind of hot dog eating contest, or people be throwing Slim Jims or something in there.
Uh, yeah, I'm with Nathan's on this, and I'm sure, and there's more to it than I'm sure that's out there. It's like Joey Chestnut put, there's probably more to it than, or there's a lot more to it than we know. That's just that. But just looking at it on the surface, just the overall collective information, and just basically, I mean, even taking everything else into account, it's like you said, it's the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You eat what they provide, and I don't know if it's just a sponsorship ordeal, but still, you should say, but yeah, this is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I got to go with them. He's made a very comfortable living doing it the way that they've been wanting him to do it up to this point. I'll give an example. As a lot of you know that are regulars here on our show know, I run races like running races on a lot of my weekends. Like that's my
What?
hobby. Okay. That's kind of my hobby, or one of them. And one time, only once, I did a 1 mile beer race. And this was where you chug 4 beers and run a mile. And how it works is you chug a beer at the start of the race, you run a quarter mile or you run a lap, quarter mile, you come back and you chug and you just repeat until the mile is completed, which is 4 beers. And the guy that actually won the thing,
And you
he
shotgun.
no, he brought his own, and it was like Angry Orchard or something, and we were all drinking Bud Light, and I'm not a Bud Light drinker. I don't dislike it, especially if it's free. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a Yingling guy myself. But I mean, for a mile race, a beer mile race, yeah, I'll take the light beer. But the point is, the dude brought his own stuff, and I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know if there's a difference, but that's not fair. Like he should be drinking what we have to drink.
Yeah.
That could be 2% alcohol per volume for all I know.
He's basically drinking juice. I mean,
Yeah, I almost threw up starting the last lap. I mean, full on. Almost, I did the, and some guy was like, "Come on, man, we got this." I'm like, "Shut up! I'm about to throw. I'm quite possibly about to throw up." I still ran the thing in under 10 minutes, so I was pretty proud of that. It was 9 something.
are you drinking it out of the can or out of a glass?
Oh, a can. Yeah.
Probably drinking out of the glass. Drink it faster out of the glass, but
Oh,
okay.
absolutely. But yeah, see, that's the thing. We had to drink it. Well, we had to drink it out of the can. If they were popped and like sitting there waiting on you, and you just had to, crush it and go. And I might have been in the rules, no shotgunning. I don't know. But I did that in like 2019. This was pre-COVID. I did it one time, and that was enough. I was like, I'm never ever going to do that again. But the point is, the guy that won it, he probably would have won it anyway. Just he was that fast, but still, it was cheating to me. And I say that, and there were two girls that on their during their heat when they did it, they stopped at like the halfway point on one of the laps and just started running back. And I just called them. I was buzzed like crazy at that point, and so I was just yelling and calling them cheaters the entire time. And one of them got an award, and that's when I really let loose. Cheater. But I'm getting off topic now. But the point is, Yeah, you should eat what Nathan's provides. It's I look forward to this on July 4th. For what there was a delay, right? A weather delay last year held it up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I missed it, but I saw that he did win it. But it's going to be somebody else this year, I guess. Somebody else has got a shot. We'll see what happens. Maybe a new star emerges. We'll see what happens. But yeah, disappointing day for a true American hero for sure. And Joey Jaws Chestnut, as Major League Eating called him, they said he's a true American hero. So they're saying all the right things. All
Right
right.
now,
Well,
dogs can breathe a sigh of relief.
who can?
A few hot dogs.
Just a few, though.
Yeah.
Or, well, no, a lot more than a few. Take that back.
A few dozen.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
More than a few dozen. Yeah.
Or, yeah, 60 something. All right. So now that we got the big news out of the way, let's move on to basketball. Okay. Was it yesterday? Dan Hurley turned down the Lakers job. He's going to be staying at UConn. I figured there was probably a good chance that he was going to take the Lakers job just because it was being reported that they were going to make him an offer. A huge offer was what Woj was putting out there on ESPN. And then you see the offer, and it wasn't a huge offer. It was
Yeah.
maybe a fair offer, but it was not a huge. It wasn't an offer that he couldn't refuse or anything like that. And if you're the Lakers, and if this is the guy you love him, show it. Like if you're this is the guy you want, show that this is the guy you want. You offered him less money than Monty Williams is making right now um, to coach the Pistons, the worst team in the league. So maybe it was a fair offer, but if that's the guy you want, no, you got to bring more to the table than that. If you're going to go for the guy, go for the guy.
Yeah.
Don't halfway do it. Don't put one foot in. They've screwed up the last few coaching hires. I mean, they wanted Ty Lue and they couldn't get the money right. And then I believe they wanted Monty Williams after that, and he goes to the Phoenix, and so you get Frank Vogel. Yeah, you win a championship with him, but then he's gone after 3 years.
Yeah.
And then you got Darvin Ham, who, I don't know. I don't dislike Darvin Ham, but it wasn't a good fit in LA. Yeah, or Dan Hurley would have been a huge hire, but he's staying at UConn. And if you're him, why would you leave something you've seemingly figured out? It looks like he's cracked the code as far as how to do this in men's college basketball today with NIL and everything else and the transfer portal. He's going to be going. He went back to back with a team that you had some pieces back, but it was really a different team this time around, and in a lot of ways looked better than last year's team. So, and he's doing the same this year. I mean, he's cracked the code on this thing. So why would you leave an area that not only you love, but your parents are there, your wife loves it there, your wife doesn't want to leave. That's been reported. She doesn't want to leave the area. And maybe Dan Hurley does go to the NBA at some point, but right now it looks like he's going to go for a three-peat and maybe wait for a better job opportunity to come around. That's kind of weird to say with it being the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's still a good job, but you could make an argument maybe I'm hesitant to say this, but maybe even the Knicks would be a better job right now. Because you don't know what you're going to get, 2 years of LeBron? And you don't know with AD after that. Now that could be good in the sense that it's going to be your team to do what you want, run the thing how you want. But I'm sure Dan Hurley was going to want to do that anyway. Maybe that had a little something to do with it too. I don't know. But either way, what I was getting to earlier, why would you leave something you're happy with at UConn? He's doing very well at UConn. So if you're going to woo me away from that, you need to offer me more than what Monty Williams is making, who's coaching the worst team in the NBA. Yeah, he got to an NBA Finals, but see how they did this year in Detroit. Okay, so let's jump to some NBA Finals talk. You had the Celtics winning in 7, as you said last week.
Yeah.
I had the Mavs winning in 7. I've said for the last couple of weeks because we did have the first NBA Finals preview of 2024. Ladies and gents, it was this show right here, not ESPN, uh, not the volume, nowhere else. Not Fox Sports. It was us, Shoebooty Sports. And I had the Mavericks in 7 that week, and I had them again last week. Not looking very good right now. But the the Mavericks made a push at the end of this last game. I mean, the Celtics almost found a way to screw it up. I didn't
Yep.
think Dallas would come back and win it, but it made me pay closer attention. Even with it being close, it felt like Boston was up 12.
Yeah.
Really, the entire game. Well,
I'm
because
pretty.
they were.
Yeah. Three-quarters of that game was on just for background noise for me. So because
that's
it
that's
wasn't close.
that's been the thing. It's been really hard for me to just stay glued to the TV these last couple of games. Now I did in game one, like I was cooking, I believe, for game one. And yeah, I was doing some cooking game one, but I kept coming into the room because Porzingis was going off. I mean, he was just doing everything,
Yeah.
hitting threes, making plays defensively, block after block, shot after shot. I mean, Porzingis was on fire. This was after a month off, over a month off. But he got what is being called a rare leg injury. It is, I even wrote part of it down. Torn, yeah, literally part of it. Torn medial something. It
Yeah. Something
actually
I'd
showed,
never heard of.
yeah. And it's a rare leg injury. He's questionable to play tomorrow night in Dallas, game 3. To me, I think you're gonna have a hard time keeping him off the floor. It's the finals, man. But if anything, put him out there as a decoy. He can find a way to be effective. But it's a chink in the armor of what looks like a very unbeatable Celtics team right now, and a really bad matchup for Dallas. But
Yep.
if you're going to turn it around, if you're Dallas, you can't even give up one. If you go back to Boston down 3-1, it's over. You got to win
Yep.
both of these. You've got to win both of these. And like Luka's banged up. Luka had a painkiller shot before um, Sunday night's game. I was like, gosh, I got to think back when it was. Yeah, Luka had a painkiller shot, still put up 30 and 30 plus and a triple double, I believe. And Kyrie Irving was clearly affected by that Boston crowd. You could see it on his face and his body language. He was clearly affected by that crowd because it'd be nice if he would show up. He's looked terrible these last 2 games. All postseason, he's looked like 2016 Kyrie Irving. And then you get to the finals, and all of a sudden, you've kind of dwindled away. Like a lot of Jason Tatum's criticism was you don't show up in the big moments. Well, here's Kyrie Irving looking like that, at least in this finals. I mean, Kyrie's been huge in those finals runs in Cleveland. The first 2 games of the 2024 NBA Finals, he's not even looked average. He's looked terrible. But a
Yep.
lot of that has to do with Boston, too. Boston is so good defensively. Tatum's not even having a good, or he got a lot of criticism for having a bad shooting game 1. I'm like, what do you take? He was lights out game 1, Jason Tatum. He didn't have the whole team didn't have a very good or didn't shoot well from 3-point range in game 2, and they still won fairly comfortably. So, I mean, Tatum, we know what Tatum is. If you're asking him to be that guy, just be that dog down the stretch, that's not his strong suit. That's why Brad Stevens that's why the Celtics have Jaylen Brown, and why Brad Stevens said, "Hey, we need to go get Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis." And you got guys like Derek White, Al Horford, etc., that are making plays. top to bottom, it's clear who the better team is. That's Boston. And what I thought would be a 7-game series is looking more like 5. And it's in Boston's favor. It hasn't been close. It hasn't been a very entertaining finals, but you got to give credit to Boston. They are making Dallas work for every single basket they get. Daniel Gafford, who looked amazing in the previous 2 rounds, has he's off balance every time he's having to go up for something, whether it's a basket, a rebound, a putback. They're making him work for everything on the defensive end. Yeah, Boston looks better, and this looks more like a 5-game series to me. Do you have
Yeah.
anything about that you disagree with?
No, I just wish I would have kept my original prediction of Celtics in 6
I
versus
know, right?
moving it back to 7.
It looks like
But
you
yeah,
picked the right team. I mean,
yeah,
they're better. Boston's the better team. I thought Luca and Kyrie were playing so lights out that they'd keep it close and win these big games, or like kind of down the stretch. But it was going to take that 4 times, and
yeah.
it's yeah. Kyrie's got to show up, and Gafford and company too. I mean, it can't just PJ Washington. It can't just be Luca. We're seeing that because
Yeah.
Boston can beat you with about 5, 6 different combinations.
Yeah, even if Porzingis doesn't see the floor again in the series, I mean, Celtics are going to have to beat themselves.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I mean, they're much better with Porzingis out there. I mean, gosh, he set the tone in game 1.
yeah,
But
the
I
Boston, I was going to say the Boston crowd's been right about Kyrie. They keep chanting Kyrie sucks, and he's showing them.
yeah, they got in his head. I mean, they clearly got in his head and affected his play, and it was obvious.
Oh,
All right, so uh, our predictions are out there, so I'm not making any adjustments. But I basically said it right here. Boston should win it, and it feels like a 5-game series. Do you see it going 6 at all? I mean, it could happen.
it could happen. I mean, if Kyrie comes out and plays like he has the last 2 series, and Luca just makes everything he throws up, and they're lobbing it to Gafford. I mean, hell, I've only seen like what 2 lobs to Gafford in the first 2 games. I mean, there's no action for him. It seems like a lot's gonna have to happen, man. But I don't know. It's possible it could go to 6, but man, it's not likely.
It's not a good matchup for Dallas. Denver Boston would have been a better matchup, but I mean, you got to play who you play, and
Yeah.
yeah, Dallas is here, and it's clearly a tough matchup for them. This Boston team. All right, should we jump to some WNBA talk because nobody else is really talking about that in the sports world? So I
Has there
guess
been
we can
anything
touch up.
going on?
I guess we can touch up on it. I think there's a few things going on.
No.
Oh, that gal we mentioned on the show a few times, Caitlin Clark. Well, she was left off of the Olympic team, and that's caused a lot of talk. Um, so thoughts on that? Let's just go with that. What are your thoughts when you heard that?
I was a little surprised. I mean, granted, she is a rookie, but I mean, put her on the team. I mean, she don't necessarily have to play, but get her on there to get the experience. I mean, grow the game a little bit. Hell, I don't know. There's
You
plenty of
don't
people on the Olympic teams that don't get to play.
you don't put her on the team to get her experience. You put her on the team to get eyeballs. You put her on the team to get people to watch you because the Olympics is run by revenue and sales. And how do you get average? Can you imagine the number of 22 USA jerseys that would have flown off the shelf
Oh yeah, made them all super jealous.
and a
But
lot of money too, or at least
yeah,
Team USA? I don't understand what it is about this WNBA league players, commissioners, etc. that don't understand that a rising tide lifts all boats. It's basic trickle down economics that they don't understand. Like, it's impressive how they are fumbling everything. The WNBA has fumbled this entire thing from the start. They haven't done a single thing right since Caitlin Clark got drafted. They have not done one thing correct except get charter flights for the team. But even then, they're not acknowledging how that was possible. Like, this is, I'm impressed like by how much the WNBA has screwed this up. And it's okay. I'll let's go to selection committee chair Jen Rosati, who is also president of the Connecticut Sun and head coach of the U.S. Women's 3-on-3 team, which I forgot was even a thing.
Thought that was our volleyball or something.
Yeah, well, the Connecticut Sun, they do have the best record in the league right now. So she knows a little something about putting together a team. I'll give her that. But let's listen to her comments here. She commented about Caitlin Clark being left off the Team USA roster, responding specifically to criticism that USA basketball is missing a chance to market and grow the WNBA by leaving Clark at home. No kidding. All right. And this is her quote. It would be irresponsible for us to talk about Clark in a way other than how she would impact the play of the team. Because it wasn't the purview of our committee to decide how many people would watch or how many people would root for the U.S. It was our purview to create the best team we could for Cheryl, the head coach, Cheryl Reeve, the head coach. And so basically, it's not our job to worry about how many people are going to watch. It's our job to put together the best team possible. And you look at the roster, and it's a really good team, but it's like that. USA women's basketball is the dream team, is the 92 dream team every Olympics. Nobody comes close to beating them. You put Caitlin Clark on that team and pull off a Diana Taurasi who's going for like her 6th or 7th medal. I think she's going for her 6th gold medal. I mean, it's a leadership quality you want, obviously, like that. I'm not saying to do that, but it wouldn't make a difference in the outcome whether you had Caitlin Clark on there or not. They can win without Caitlin Clark. They can win with Caitlin Clark. So, considering that, how can we grow the game? How can we grow women's basketball? We put this shining, bright superstar, the biggest star your league has ever seen, and we put her on the team. There was also reports that, the people in charge of putting together the team were concerned that her fans would be upset that she wasn't going to get a lot of playing time on what's a stacked roster. I think anybody that watches the Olympics understands that she's not going to play 40 minutes. She don't have to play more than 10, but get her on the team because people are going to watch waiting. All right, when's she going to get out there?
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to have some people wishing that she played more, but guess what? You're going to have viewers. You're going to be counting money. And now people are going to go out of their way to not watch because they see just how the league has treated her, being Caitlin Clark, ever since this whole thing has started. Ever since she has entered the WNBA, it's been jealousy from players around the league, even coaches, etc. And yeah, she's been targeted. I said it last week. She's been targeted. I mean, you can't tell me Kennedy Carter didn't. I mean, well, we know that was a dirty play.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just because she mouthed something to her on the other end. There was some built up stuff behind that too. There was just jealousy, pettiness, and Angel Reese wouldn't have been celebrating it like they had won a championship if it were another player. She just wouldn't. There's more to it than that. And we all know what it is. And this is this is both embarrassing and impressive to see how badly the WNBA has fumbled this with Caitlin Clark. Like there are few things or two things that come to mind. How bad the biggest screw up to me that I've ever seen in sports was how the Indianapolis Colts ruined Andrew Luck, a generational talent at quarterback, surefire future Hall of Famer, and your general manager couldn't put together an offensive line to save his life or, just his career.
Yeah.
And you ruined him. He had to retire early because he got so beat up because you didn't do what it took to protect him. The WNBA has now surpassed the Indianapolis Colts as the biggest fumble job I've ever seen in sports.
Yep.
They are ruining the biggest star that they'll ever have in Caitlin Clark. And this is just another, like you said that you were surprised that she was left off. I was not. I wasn't shocked at all. In fact, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised had she been on the team, but because I'd say, well, maybe they do have some sense, but I wasn't surprised she was left off.
Oh, it made sense because they hate her for some odd reason. They hate her.
It's wild. Like it is what, and another.
It's like they don't want anybody to watch their product. I mean, they want to just keep being a score blip at the bottom of the timeline that nobody ever watches and nobody cares about.
See, here's the thing. They want the viewership. They want the 156% increase in sales and viewership. It's something like that, like a real number that they've gotten the league since they started play this year. But they want it on their own terms. They don't want it in the form of this straight white girl.
They haven't been able to do it in the 20 years they've existed. Why start now?
I don't know. I guess you'd think you'd want to make money eventually. I mean, I've been broke for nearly 40 years, and I don't want to stay that way. I'm at least going to try. I'm trying to get out of it. They've been handed success on a silver platter, and they're screwing it up, and they have screwed it up every day. So if it's my point, with my original point, if you're going to win, if you're going to dominate the Olympics anyway, why not have the biggest star in the league on the team? Really deserve. I think she is deserving, but deserving or not, just for business, just to get viewers, because you're going to win whether it's not going to make a difference whether she's on the team or not. You're that dominant. So why not make some money while you're at it? There's clearly no business people in the WNBA or the Women's Team USA office there, because one, you've never made any money, so you can't afford to pay the best business people in the world. But there's clearly no business acumen amongst that leadership, because it's just been fumble after fumble after fumble. And it's only going to continue. It's not going to get better. They are so bad that there's no coming back from this. Like it's like, when you talk to somebody that's so stupid, or that you're so far off as far as agreeing with each other, that you just stop and you just like, and you're just like, all right, and you just let it go, because you know that there's nothing you can say that's going to change anything, or that's going to make up for how much difference there is between the two of you. This is it. This is it with the WNBA and Caitlin Clark and Team USA for that matter. There's no fixing this. It's only going to get worse. No one else has covered this topic, right?
No, I don't think it can get worse. But yeah,
that's kind of true. Like it's see, I say that it's going to be hard. It would be very hard for them to make it any worse than they already have. But dude, they'll find a way. It's impressive how much they have screwed this up. They've effed this whole thing up.
Yep.
Okay, before we get out of here, let's do some quick touch up stuff. The Arkansas women win yet another NCAA Outdoor National Championship in track and field. The Stanley Cup Finals resumes Thursday in Edmonton. Game three, first one in Edmonton. Florida Panthers up 2-0 right now, but it's the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Anything can happen. Other news: 10 members of the 1983 NC State Wolfpack team, basketball team, the Cardiac Pack, as they were dubbed, they are suing the NCAA over NIL issues. So, considering the NCAA dealt out, what, $2.8 billion in settlements over the years, maybe they're just trying to dip their hand in that pot too. I don't agree with it. Like, you knew what you were getting into signing up for when you were playing in 1983, and now here you are 40
Yeah,
plus years later trying to, get a handout. As far as I'm concerned, don't
yeah, they
don't
need to go.
necessarily blame them for doing it, because maybe they'll pay up, but I don't agree with
Was their Social Security not paying out? What's the deal? I mean, shit.
it. maybe
It's,
maybe not. All right, well, let's get out of here on this. We got the US Open coming up, right? When does it start? And give us a preview. So let's end with some golf with Brad before we get out of here. Take over, Brad.
Golf with Brad. All right. We got the third major of the year taking place at Pinehurst course number 2 there in North Carolina. It is going to be a difficult week. It's a difficult course, and they've got the greens already lightning fast. They were watering them today, but by Sunday it's probably going to be deadly. It's going to be a little bit unfair. You're going to see professionals hitting it and playing pretty much ping pong over the green. They'll hit it and then hit it off the green, and then probably have to hit it back. So, uh, very tough course. Of course, Scotty, he won last week at the Memorial. He's going to be favored to win this thing.
No kidding,
But
Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler, yeah, color me shocked. Um, Other big news, I guess, Tiger is, of course, a lot of talks about Tiger. Of course, it's a major. He's out there. He's been playing some practice rounds with his son, Charlie, as his swing coach. A little different, but he says Charlie's seen him hit the most balls out of anybody in the world. So I guess I get that.
I was like, Charlie's the
This,
swing coach. I heard that right, didn't I?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Charlie Woods. This course is not, it doesn't have as severe elevation change as Augusta there. So it's a little bit flatter course. And it's warmer. So his, I guess, physicality or whatnot, his physique, it'll hold up better with this tournament, but he's still got to make the shots. So it's going to be a very interesting tournament to watch for sure.
All right. Well, we'll be back with more next week. See y'all then. This is your host, Graham Powell.
Brother Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.